If you're an environmentalist, you probably think cows are bad for the environment. If you're a rancher, you probably think environmentalists are bad for business.
Tonight, though, we've got a case where all the above, including the cows, have come together to help one of the rarest species on Earth. Science and Nature Specialist John Hollenhorst reports from Panguitch.
For a modest little wildflower, the autumn buttercup sure has lots of friends. It's because it's so vulnerable.
It's only found in this one site in the world.
Volunteers armed with buckets and water cans, government agencies, educational institutions, conservationists, and yes, even cows are helping it survive.
Hey, hep.
The rescue effort involves volunteers planting buttercups. They're grown from seeds in a greenhouse.
They are grown in captivity and then released back into the wild.
Their last holdout on Earth is this valley along the Sevier River.
I think they perhaps would be extinct by this time if nothing had been done.
30 years ago, when the Nature Conservancy bought the property, naturally they got rid of the cows.
Yeah, they kicked the cows off the property to protect this little guy.
But the buttercups continued to struggle.
And so over time, we did controlled burns and clip plots, and we kept the cows out, and nothing really was working.
And then someone noticed on land nearby, cows were grazing and buttercups were thriving.
It was this robust population, and we thought, well, wait a minute.
So they rethought the whole thing.
Maybe the cows aren't the problem. Maybe they're actually the solution.
A few years ago, they decided to bring the cattle back in carefully limited doses. We saw these cows last November. When we went back last week, the cows were gone for the season, and the buttercups were blooming.
And lo and behold, so far, it's been pretty amazing what we've seen. So, yay for cows.
So now, with the cows occasionally coming back, the buttercups seem to be doing better. Nobody knows exactly why that's true. There are two main theories. It seems likely both are true. For one thing, when the cows left, grasses grew higher. That created perfect habitat for tiny mouse-like rodents called voles.
And so what we found was that the little vole was running amok through this landscape and devouring our autumn buttercup.
Theory number two has to do with the soggy, bouncy ground in this often very wet meadow. The cattle hooves punch into the muddy grass and create little mounds called hummocks, which seem to be a good place for a buttercup seed to get started.
It seems to like to be out of the water, but around the water. And these hummocks here, that's what's providing those little micro-habitats.
The hummock theory gets a thumbs up from a researcher who studied buttercups way back in the 1990s.
His observation was that they do like being near the hummocks. We'll see. You know, jury's still out.
For a rancher, it's nice to be on the same side of the fence with environmentalists.
I think we can work together. It's just the knowledge of knowing when to graze and how to graze, how much to graze, or how little to graze.
There are still many unanswered questions and no guarantee of long-term success. But for now, it's a happy story for the buttercups, thanks to a little help from their friends. John Hollenhorst, KSL 5 News, Panguitch.
John, thank you. Part of the funding for the buttercup rescue is being provided by the state of Utah.
Kevin,